Hello, thank you for joining me for this edition of 365 Days of Public Speaking. My name is Lionel Yamentu. Today you will learn how to be sincere when you speak. I just finished watching this video program by Darren Lacroix, one of the former world champion of public speaking, for the reputable world contest of public speaking by World Championship of Public Speaking by Toastmasters International. Finally got it right. And this is the DVD program that I just listened to, that I just finished watching. It is a DVD program, so it's video, so I watched it. And it's titled Your Hero's Journey, How to Impact Lives Through Your Story. Now this gave me an inspiration to talk about how to be sincere when you speak, because one of the things that I've noticed to be consistent with Darren when he speaks, I've seen him on stage several times in person live and also through his different programs and also through his website, is that he comes off as someone who is sincere, someone who is speaking from the heart. What you will walk away with at the end of today's video is how to be sincere when you speak. How do you achieve that connection with the audience through sincerity? How do you create that feeling in the audience of knowing that you are sincere in whatever it is that you're sharing with them? There's a quote that I really like by Mark Brown. The quote says, "Your story doesn't have to be sensational. It only has to be sincere." Your story doesn't have to be sensational. It only has to be sincere. What does it mean? It means when you get up on stage to share your story with people in order to inspire them, to motivate them, to educate them, to empower them, your story doesn't have to have all the bells and whistles. It only has to come out of your heart. It only has to be sincere. Now, my friend Linda is working on a TED Talk-like presentation that she's going to give in December. And I was helping her a few days ago to kind of go through the preparation phase of that speech. It's going to be about 18 minutes. And she came up with this brilliant outline. The outline was just so well defined, I felt, because I saw that in preparing that outline, she came up with things that she drew deep from her personal experiences, deep from her heart. And I said, Linda, this is what you have to do. Even if you want to make changes to this outline, give the speech as it is first, and then later on you can decide to make changes to improve it, enhance it based on the audience's feedback and how you see that they respond to it. So what comes out of your heart is usually the best option to go with at first. Now you could go feedback and coaching to enhance that, but that is mostly going to be the best choice that you can go with. Okay, let's talk about how do you appear, or how do you come off as sincere to your audience when you speak. There are 3 points I would like to share with you that you can use. Number 1 is act the same way alone as you do when in the presence of others. Act the same way alone as you do when in the presence of others. What do you mean? It means what you do off stage determines how you perform on stage. What you do off stage determines how you perform on stage. Whatever attitudes, whatever habits that you have when you are off stage are going to have a huge impact, whether you realize it or not, on how you come off to your audience once you're on the platform. Make sure that, like Les Brown says, it's not enough to give the message, you must also be the message. It's never enough to just give the message. When you are a speaker, when you are someone sharing messages, ideas from stage with people, you want to be the message, not only give the message. That was number 1. Number 2, how to be sincere when you speak. Do things out of the goodness of your heart. Don't seek a reward or do things to acquire things from people. Now, a lot of people get frustrated when they get to speaking and they realize that they've been speaking and they are good at what they do, they are good when they're on stage, but they don't make any money from those speaking experiences. If you speak to make money from speaking exclusively, you're not gonna make it that easily. because you have to be in a stage where you speak out of the goodness of your heart, and when you touch people's hearts, they open their wallets. How can you give to other people if in the back of your head you are chasing money? And I got that from Darren Lacroix. How can you give to other people if in the back of your head you are chasing money? That's a very powerful statement to remember. You cannot give to people from your heart if you are giving to receive money. You must get to a state where you are able to give out of the goodness of your heart. And then the money is going to flow as a derivative of that experience. That was number 2. Number 3, on how to be sincere when you speak, don't over-polish things. There's a quote by Michael J. Fox that I like very much. The quote goes like, I am careful not to confuse excellence with perfection. Excellence I can reach for. Perfection, it's God's business. I'll repeat that. I am careful not to confuse excellence with perfection. Excellence I can reach for. Perfection, it's God's business. How powerful is that? If you are someone who is always striving for excellence, it might be tempting sometimes to go for perfection. Do not confuse perfection with excellence. You should always be striving to be excellent, but not to be perfect. When I started this specific video, I made a few mistakes, but I decided not to be perfect. I decided to be excellent. And excellence is a result of hours and hours and working on your craft and speaking out of the goodness of your heart, doing things out of the goodness of your heart. Remember that. Okay, let's quickly review what we talked about when it comes to how to be sincere when you speak. Number 1, act the same way alone as you do when in the presence of others. Don't have 2 different personalities, one for the public and one for the private. You should be consistent throughout, and that's going to reflect in the way you speak. Number 2, do things out of the goodness of your heart. You cannot give to other people if at the back of your mind you are chasing money. Number 3, don't over-polish things. Aim for excellence, not perfection. And just like one other quote of Darren Lacroix, he says, done is better than perfect. Done is always going to be better than perfect. And with that, this is done. I am sure it's nowhere near perfect, but it's done. Okay, if you've enjoyed this, do make sure you share with 1 or 2 friends that you believe that might find this useful. And do subscribe to this video channel if you can, and I know you can. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you again tomorrow for the next video.